it's, and then Joe brought in competition. Here's what I'll bring into it is like in the comparison is what, to me, we make meaning. And we are meaning making machines. I think back to Allison's point of survival. Now, and then Allison said, yes, like then the survival, and then it's like where we start, the starting position of that comparison. I think that's where our habits of how we've made sense of the world shape that. And then that I don't think there's a choice to compare. I think there's a choice in like how we compare, or the tendency, the automatic way that what we do with the comparison.
Or it could be the same as she said, choice without charge amplifies alignment. It could be comparison without charge.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, because all the roots of that are all in the belief of separation. See, that's the challenge of putting an unlimited into a limited space.
Yes, there it is.
Is because that's individuation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And when you're perceived as separate, then all that other stuff can come to light, because it's an easy assumption to go from, well, I'm separate from other, to aloneness, to isolation,
mm-hmm.
to limitedness, as if that is the truth of my being.
Mm-hmm.
That I am separate, that I am individual, that I am limited. But that totally disregards the part of you that's not limited.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the trapped thing comes in.
Yeah.
Like that whole trapped is actually, it's actually a construct, a creation, a belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Separate, individual, alone, trapped. They're all the same energy.
Yeah. Leading in this same direction. So that continues to open up questions about it, right? If that's where our focus is.
Correct. And the focus ends up taking over.
Yep. Yeah.
Ends up dominating everything.
Mm-hmm.
It all starts from this sense of separate.
Mm-hmm. And it's crazy. So then as you like pulled all that apart, you sit and say, oh, well, then there's the other side of separate, which means together. And it's like, oh, imagine a world where we, rather than thinking separate, we thought together. And let's explore, unpack all of that direction. And then between the two, we can choose.
Right. Yeah, yeah,
That's what we've missed so far, is like we just think that we have to be in this one construct because we're not even aware we're trapped in that one limited construct, trying to figure out why life isn't working.
right, because we're looking for the answer inside that construct.
Mhm.
And it doesn't even exist there. The answer, none of the answers exist inside that construct.
In answer always will. And this, and here's what it is. It's like I think that the answer will always be a limited answer, and we are expansive humans that are looking for more.
Right. But we're looking for it inside that limited construct.
True. And
You're
so in
never gonna
that,
find
like,
it
it's an unresolved pattern that until we see our unresolvable pattern, we won't realize we've got a choice. Because choice requires 2 points. Structure, 2 points.
Yeah. So go back.
Limited, expansive, explore it. Oh, now we have 2 points.
Yeah. So go back to the Garden of Eden. The human being is presented with the death tree and the life tree.
Now, death tree is going to trigger people to be like in that story. Can be triggered to say like, oh, death as like no longer breathing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. That's the common understanding of it. But the words were, if you eat of this tree, the day you eat of this tree, you will die. So it's an instantaneous thing. Death is a state of being. It's not an event.
Good.
Okay. But I use it that way because it's the opposite side of the life tree. Okay. This is a life tree. This is the one that you can free. This is the one that divine intention wants you to eat from. But in order for that to be there, in order for choice to exist, there's an alternate. There's an alternate choice.
Now, like to expand on that a little bit more. It was like the story goes that there was one tree not to eat from, and you could eat from all the others.
Exactly.
So, and so it's like
all the others were represented by that one tree, that one life tree,
right? So it's like, it's not like 1 or 2, right? It's not like A or B. It was like A and everything else.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so like either way, there's a choice.
Right. And the death tree was the either or tree. Okay. The life tree is the both and tree.
Or the yes and well, sorry.
All the
and
yes and but both and.
Yes.
Okay. It was the combine and create tree. The life tree is the combine and create. The other one is be separate and be trapped in it.
Yes. Yeah. So much of the individualization that we've got the background into.
Right.
And so if it's not individual, then it's as a whole. Or what is that? What would you think? United, equal. What we're aimed at here.
Equal. Parts of a greater thing. Drops in the ocean. So am I going to jump into the ocean as a drop and try to maintain my individuality inside that ocean, or am I
Wow,
going to become part of the whole?
that's a great way to put it, man. Like, wow. Because
Yeah.
it's impossible, isn't it? That's the fight. To try to hold on to your individuality, but that's one thing you got to leave when you go to the city, which is hard for everybody.
Yeah. See, we're
Identity
trying
brings
to maintain our identity as a drop while swimming in the ocean, and it just doesn't work. They all meld together. If you're in there, you lose your identity completely once you realize that you're part of the ocean. Which is, like Joe says, that's the city. It's a realization that you're just part of a whole, and you never were. And the only place you're an individual is in the space-time continuum. That's the only space you're individualized or you're individuated, is inside that space-time continuum. But your essence, your roots, your being is eternal, unlimited.
Infinite supply.
Infinite supply, exactly. That's abundance. That's that's abundant life that Jesus talked about. That's eating from that tree of life, as is laid out in Genesis, and continuing to eat from it. It's like there's no individual there.
Man, so
Unless you choose to continue to be that.
And I like to demonstrate that metaphor, because you have to pull something out in that story to bring attention to it, right? To the metaphor. And it's like, as soon as they realized that, they realized they were naked.
Right. And ashamed, apparently.
Yeah. And that is like becoming of the differences, right? And once you're aware of something like that, and it's like as a metaphor, you can never go back to it, right? You can never unknow that.
Yeah, how do you
You can never
that
unsee that. Yeah.
Or that you're separate, or that you're naked, for that matter.
Mhm. I just want to take a moment and welcome Mona. Good morning, Mona. Great to be with you.
Good morning.
Hey, Mona.
So who's naked today?
Apparently all of us are. But we're learning
And
how
we're
to
all-
unknow that.
And we're all clothed, so. So figure that conundrum out. Yeah, that's a beautiful laugh. Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. So here's what freaks me out about this whole thing, is the way the story goes when that choice was made. It seemed to be, or like the warning was, you eat from this tree and that day you die. That seemed to be instantaneous. But making our way back to the life tree has become, well, it's taken thousands of years. And we're still not there yet.
Mm.
And to me, that's what's so miraculous about this time that we live in, is because there's so many signs and it's so obvious that the whole cosmos is conspiring to get us back to that life tree, to get humans back to the life tree.
So what is I don't understand what your surprise is, that nobody is getting it.
Yeah,
Well, when you have all the fear mongering going on and the negativity that people keep hanging on to, I don't see it as that much of a surprise, because it also talks about in the end times that the closer that the end come, that the closer that comes to fruition, the more negativity is going to be showing up
yes.
to take away.
Yo, sorry, I'm under a cough.
Yeah, what she was saying that the prophecies basically say that as we get nearer to the end of the age, that negativity and dark energy increase and get more intense,
Yes.
which is part of what we're experiencing right now as well.
Yes. And our job,
So
and our job is to be the light. It's
Hmm.
to be a verb. It's to be the light. It's to be as awake as we can possibly be and share that as much as we can possibly share it. Now, people are not always going to accept it as we share it. People are not always going to see it as we can give it. But our job is just to give it as we can best possible do it.
Yeah, just shine the light,
Yeah, it's
whatever
somebody
that happens
else's.
to mean.
Yeah, and it's somebody else's. It's somebody else's job possibly to cause it to grow. To harvest it.
Yeah. So what I hear you saying is that it's up to us to be the transition.
Yeah. Sometimes we're the seed, and sometimes we're the person that waters it, and then sometimes we're the person that harvests it. We never know where we're going to be in the flow of that.
Yes.
in the ever-changing moment of now, meaning as situations change,
Yeah.
conditions
So does now.
change. And it's just like the same thing. It's like, here's what's the space that's opening up. It's like the same thing, like these patterns and habits of eating from this one tree, the limited tree, the negativity, the tree of death, right? And not realizing that there's this tree of life all the way around it.
Yeah, as far as the eye can see.
It's the abundance of that, right? The abundance, the expanse of the both and. And
Yeah, in fact, the word that was used is, of every tree of the garden you may freely eat. Freely. except this one.
And so that just like it then could just bring back to, oh, it's a different flavor of experiencing. A different flavor of humaning, because it's, it's like the metaphor of it is it's done already. Yeah. Now it's just seeing of playing out the transition to back to the other side. From separate, from individualization to a together, to a wholeness. Is that what you would, it's like if we going for an end result, it was like that, would that be in the direction of it?
Yeah. Not just a return to wholeness, but also an intimate knowing of wholeness, of the truth of that, the truth of that state of being. A collective truth of that.
Just as much as the truth of the other one. And it's what I like put in the space of that is the acknowledge, like the seeing of just the patterns, right? And the conditioning and the starting position that we're unaware of in the limitation, because that's the majority. Like most people live in that limited potential, in that individual potential, in that competitive starting position, in that comparison moment. Yeah. And seeing that, oh, if I can see that is what I do, I could look at the other way to see it. And
well, here's another thing though, just a second. Okay, there's an assumption, an underlying assumption that is our starting position.
Well, the starting position of now.
No, that's our starting position as human beings. Is that we're fallen, and we're basically born inside a pit that we're clamoring to. We spend all our lives clamoring to get out of. But what I'm suggesting is that assumption is a construct as well, which is why I keep focusing on the 3 Gs as the default state of a human being.
And I can back it, like I say that as a child before the words.
Right.
Because a child, it's like in that is the genius of like that is the innate connection, right? Before we eat of the tree, the death tree, by learning the words from a limited point of view. So we went from unlimited to limited, and then come back to unlimited.
Right.
Just in our own individual journey.
See, and words take us there.
Yeah.
Words take us to limitation.
Yeah.
Okay, because vast majority of them in our language are either or words or are constrictive in one way or another. Very few expansive words. Most of them describe differentiation and separateness.
Mhm,
As if it's the be all end all.
mhm. So Craig and I, we've hogged some airtime. Joe, Mona, I just want to give you space to bring your genius in.
Well, I'm just sort of trying to understand for sure what's being said. So,
Hearing, Mona.
so according to what Craig is saying, we're not. Oh, this is just weird. Okay, now I'm going to step out of the biblical realm. From what I'm understanding Craig to say, we're born perfect.
Yeah,
And
that's correct.
And we haven't done anything Adam's done or anything like that at this point. Correct?
Right. Pristine
Okay.
soul.
So when do you feel like we become a part of the Adam generation?
Well, part of it's written in our DNA to start with. And that's 3D leftovers, if you want to get technical. It's in the physicality of the human being, and it's energies that are embedded in the code.
Okay.
To start with, but then the environment is that way too. Okay, we're exposed to things that are foreign to spiritual beings, such as limitation and what else, to use a simple example, individuation is another one. Thinking that's either or. And instead of remembering that we're actually an eternal soul occupying a body, we everything around us, the environment, the interactions, all that kind of stuff, put us in a place where we come to think or come to believe that we're not that eternal soul, that we're just a person in a body, we're just an individual, and that's all we are.
Okay. So then where does religion come in here and tell us that we're sinners and we're bad and we have limits?
That's a good question. And that is human nature. That's basically what religion has been teaching us from its very beginning. Is that that's what a human being is. That's a human nature.
So without the religious aspect of it. I will look at it from the point of um, to me, it probably shows up by like the age of 7, but it really is like between, 2 to 4, where we really begin to hand over and say, oh, these people out here know a whole lot more than I do. I'm going to pick up on their structure. And so all of a sudden, then we just fall into that structure from the whole, the genius, the gifts, the greatness, the imaginative world of a child to a this is how the world works. And so we begin to attach ourselves to this, those that we admire, those that we look up to, that provide and keep us safe, right? Like they know more than we do, so we're going to listen to them. And so whatever construct that they've come from is the one that they're going to pass on. So to me, that's where like the religion shows up. That's where the limitations show up, because that is the majority of our world. We call it a society, we call it family, we call it community. If I was to explain the human journey, which is what that is.
Yeah. Yeah, and we come to embrace all that as true.
Really, we forget the other part of it because we don't have any words for it.
That's a really amazing insight, but yeah. We certainly don't have the words to describe it.
Because they're probably, visions, they're probably just things that we've seen as in our dreams, in our imagination, in our creativity. Yeah, and because we just don't have words for it. It'd be amazing to go back and, and that's what we're trying to do, right? Is just, what are people dreaming, right? It's like, what are children, what are babies dreaming about before they can understand just the pattern of words?
Yeah, and part of what messes all that up is actually understanding.
You're right. And I don't, yes. And what I was going to is like, I don't think we can change that. I just think we can change our orientation to the understanding.
Right.
Because it's like we already see we're naked, right? And it's like,
can't
okay,
unknow
so
what you already know, right? Or you can't
right.
unsee what you've already seen.
Right. So I'll pause. Nikki joined. Welcome, Nikki. Good morning.
Morning, guys.
Hi there.
Greetings, homie.
Hello.
Wonderful. Anyone like to catch Nikki up where we are?
I don't really know where we're at.
Wonderful. Well, Joe, do you want to take your take at it? What
I'm all
have
ears.
you made up?
Very interesting. Yeah. That's it.
Well, something that stuck in my head was when, because if we're looking at the finite perspective, the individuation, and then the multidimensional nature. Like, I've never seen it as the way in which Craig said it, because I've always said we can be the droplet of the ocean, but there's no point in which that droplet ends or starts. It is the ocean. But it's like we're going into the ocean as an individual and we try to hold our droplet state. And like, we don't want to let go of that identity level that we've grown comfortable with. That's like holding the bubble structure. And it's like, we're either going to make the jump into the ocean or we're in the ocean, but we're like, no, just like, So, yeah, it's like a bubble in the ocean, try to maintain its bubble state, and that's going to be uncomfortable. That can be uncomfortable. So yeah, because this lines up like, identifying as like infinite consciousness and like infinite awareness. Yeah, I'm having a human experience. Yeah, I mean, but that's not all. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's like we've been tricked into thinking, like, when we go to the space and you need to wear a spacesuit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like we've lost his memory and we think we're a spacesuit. It's like, wow, look at this. I'll look at my flags on my spacesuit. But we're not the spacesuit, we're what's inside it. But then also, like, imagine if we lost connection with NASA control. That's like intuition. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And all these coordinates that we've got are wrong.
Like this.
So it's automatically taking us out of alignment. And then I'd like to end with something I was reading in Gene Key 50 with Craigington about how harmony is always there. Yeah. It's not something that's created. It's, what was it, Craig? Something you step into, or it's just always there.
Yeah, harmony is always there, whether we sync up to
Like
it or not.
So yeah, that's my synopsis. I love you.
Thanks,
I
Joe.
don't know if Nick is being cut off yet, or if it was my conclusion. But yeah, Mona,
Well,
it's beautiful to have you here, Mona, and like have you sharing. Like, I love it when you do. I mean, you're speaking and expressing yourself, man. It's been beautiful to get your perspective on things. So it's really lovely to be here with you.
So Joe, what do you notice about taking that experience and putting it into words?
Well, it's not something you can really like think about and explain. It's just something I think you just like start opening your mouth.
Right, because the words it started with is I don't know. It's like, yeah. Perfect. That's the best place to be. I don't know where we're at. I know, great.
Yeah,
and
it forms as you realize it.
Let me say this. It completely hit the mark.
Yeah, totally.
And it was right on.
And I didn't think about it for a second.
Yeah.
But your pattern did. Your pattern did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I wouldn't have. But yeah, that's it. Like, but because he was like, well, nothing to lose here. Let's just open my mouth.
And what's cool about this is I can experience the innocence happening in this space right now.
Hmm.
The laughing and the giggling and the just making it up. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, wow, the innocence. Oh, that's it.
That's what I'm
That's
hearing
it.
right now.
The giggles, and that's it. This is when we just naturally tuned in channels, you know, like when we're in that place. But oh, thank you, Mona. That's it. Thanks for reminding me, man. You just sent chills through my body.
When we care what people say. And when we care what people say over what we say. What I say. That's true listening. And I think that's part of the potential of like, oh, what's your life tree? What's your genius? What's your gifts? What's your greatness? I want to hear so that we can create them together.
Yeah, I'm hearing a bunch of innocent hearts expressing themselves.
Mhm.
Music to my ears.
Mhm. And people can choose to hear it or not. Yeah. And we're going to make up stories all about it one way or the other, right, Joe?
Consciously or unconsciously, or super consciously.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh, I could
All of the
think that
above.
Nikki may not have liked your conclusion. Yep, that's one possibility out of everything.
Yeah, or it could have just cut off.
Yep.
Or she could have just landed in the ocean.
Yep. And the point is which one do you want to make up about it?
The one that makes me feel happy.
Wonderful.
That's your choice.
Mhm. Which is your power, which is each of our power, is in our choice to be aware. Oh, I don't have to keep playing the same record. I can choose a new one. But choosing a new one takes practice, right? And you're going to get it quote unquote wrong along the way until you realize like there is no right or wrong. We're just moving from one orientation to another. But that's just my view, and damn it, you better believe it.
Oh yeah.
You better agree with it or I'm going to kick you out, right?
It's my way. Oh, it's the highway.
Good God.
The library of ultimatums.
Mhm.
Yeah. The transition is a reorientation.
Yes.
That's what I got just now.
a new starting coordinate, a new starting position every moment of now. Which that's a new orientation. New is just different. And as we listen for our gifts and our greatness, that becomes our new orientation. And no way.
Eventually that becomes a new structure.
Yeah, exactly. A new structure. Slowly, yes, slowly.
Well, apparently it takes at least 240 days.
Slowly. Well, a lot of them have been put in place in that, yeah.
Yeah. But they wouldn't be here if that isn't what we wanted.
And followed through. And allowed and put focus
in there.
Yeah, and focus, right? Awareness, focus. Is it listening to the charge? As Allison opened with charge, choice, there it is. So choice without charge amplifies alignment. It's a great awareness, but everything that we do has a charge on it. Everything we don't do has a charge on it. And just to be aware of the positive charges is the direction we want to go, and the negative charges are the ways we don't want to go.
What we're after is choice without either one.
That's right. That's the
so neutral.
Neutral. Yeah. The starting position of neutral is the most expansive. And then, like after we have that well done, Craig, then it's like, then the information then we can look at the information that's available. The knowledge, the how to, right? The experience. So it does come in. We just don't want it to be the driving force.
Yeah, we don't want it to be the timing.
And another way, the automatic. The default.
Yeah. Which currently the charge currently around choosing is take action now.
An urgency charge then.
Yep. Which isn't usually a very good space to make a decision from.
Well, and if we unpack it a little bit, it's a force. It's a push.
Yes.
And it's like, if we go back to the nature of it, it's like pushing that seed to grow and sprout and produce, yield, and die. It's like forcing that cycle.
Yeah.
Pushing
Yeah.
that cycle. Good luck, right?
Yeah, we can push and force things and get things done, but the damage that's doing to our being, who force and push, wants to flow with ease.
And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the urgency, with the forcing, with the pushing. It's just a lot of wasted energy.
Mm. Mm.
And it's limited because then you can only see a little piece of it. And it's unresolvable, and it'll never show up the way you want it. And so you'll just end up doing the same thing over and over again until you have to surrender to the moment to say, "Gal, I can't force it anymore." So until that point, like like do all you want with it. There's not one way that's better than the other.
No, my way is definitely better than yours.
Yeah, I know it is, Joe, and I appreciate that.
No, it's joking.
And I do. That's why I love to hear from you. I know, like,
Nah,
yeah.
nah, man. This is all beautiful, man. Like, wow. Wow. Oh, just, yeah. This group, though, all my days. Gene Key 50 yesterday. Craig, man, can you sum it up?
Oh,
Because it's actually in my Gene. Jesse, have you done your Gene Keys yet? It takes 2 minutes, brother.
Yeah, I have done it.
Oh, have you done it?
Mhm.
No way, man. Did you like the report?
Yeah, I did. I did very well. Hit well, gave insights. So one of my whatever the first one is, I don't have it well enough. But it is the struggle of life is one of my first my first one, first category.
Wow.
is that 28 by any chance, or is it 38?
I don't remember the number, Craig.
Okay, that's interesting.
I think I could pull it up though, if it's worth,
Believe
if
me,
you want to know.
It's a need to know basis.
What month is your birthday in?
October.
It's in October? Oh my word.
But your Gene Key 50 though is
It's 28. It's 28. I know it already. Guess what? That's mine. That's mine too.
No, my first one is 48.
Oh, it's 48?
That's
Okay.
my life's work is Gene Key 48. What I'm here to learn is Gene 21. And what keeps me healthy is Key 39. And then
39.
my purpose is Key 38.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 38. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, interesting.
So there you go, Joe. My genius is a gift of what I need to transform is the shadow of struggle.
Yes.
Wow.
So that was like what I just shared was like my struggle of my shadow of struggle was what I just explained. People can choose that for themselves, or they can force it, they can be urgent with it, they can push it, or allow it. Allow it, accept it, and engage with the flow of it. Because that is a force too.
Be reckoned with. When did you come up with, when did you realize that?
as I read the struggle, I just can say, like in my genius of it is, I just put that together just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like what I was doing.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what
and
I've been
so-
doing all my life.
Yeah, right. And so in love is to transform the shadow of complexity into the gift of simplicity.
Oof. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see you doing that all the time, man. When you take
Mhm.
something complex that's gone on and you just simplify it naturally.
Yeah. That's a gift.
And then I unlock my prosperity through my gift of synergy. And I
Synergy,
undermine,
no way.
and I undermine my prosperity through the shadow of dominance.
Oof.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Wow. So what does that say about prosperity? Dominant. That's like a block.
That's like a what?
that's that intensity that we've talked about before,
Mhm.
Jesse. And it can show up as dominance or it can show up as synergy, right?
And it's in so my dominance shows up because it's like I thrive best in a position of leadership or influence. Yeah. And
Yes.
it's like when I'm not heard is when my dominance comes out.
Yeah.
That was the old patterns, right? But it was a orientation was off, right? My orientation was just in the wrong position. Still wanted to be heard, right? Still wanted to be understood, to lead. Yet it was like, oh, when I make up that people aren't there with it, then I can get angry. And angry is just a remnants of that dominating.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Well, from my perspective growing up, that is what a leader needed to do, was dominate.
Right. Right.
Yeah, of course.
How else could I be successful if I didn't dominate?
Wow, there we go. The deep early questions one may ask oneself.
So yes, there's my gene keys. So thanks for letting me share it with each of you.
Oh my
Hi.
days, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. Yo, Nikki back in the house.
Yeah, I got
Mhm.
back because I was kicked off, or at my not. I was kicked off by the Wi-Fi in outside. Yeah, but yeah, so that was that I got kicked off, and I heard what you said about the updating me, and I appreciate that. And so as I was trying to get on Wi-Fi, I just had to say okay, whatever, and then walked along, and then my friend Mia, if you don't mind me sharing, Mia's from South Africa and been living here also for like 17 something plus years. It's pretty awesome because she brings home to me every time I'm with her. And so she had a friend that came also from South Africa down to visit her. And they've been friends for like since they were 12. Oh my God. I said, nah, listen, there's nothing inspiring. You have just inspired me. Because her relationship with her friend, but her friend is South Africa, so we could talk about rugby, because rugby is something that I grew up with. I love the sport. Yeah, but we don't celebrate it here in America. So I got to really like go all out with, because South Africa is Springboks and they beat the Wallabies, that's Australians. Beat them, we smashed them, we killed them, 44-12. And now we're going to be playing next week, the Springboks, a South African team, national team, is going to be
We're talking
playing.
rugby here, folks.
Yeah. New Zealand. Oh,
The All
my
Blacks.
God. Oh, let's go. it's going to be so awesome. So we were talking a little bit, and it was just nice just to come into the session now. Just say goodbye. They're going to Trader Joe's. That's a supermarket. Oh, so cute. They're going to the supermarket together. For reasons, yeah, it's a good supermarket. Let's put it like that. You get good buys there. You don't get it anywhere else. Yeah, you want good meat, protein, all that. So, yeah, whatever. So they this went on the other side, and then I tried again to get on Zoom. It didn't work, and now I try again because I did tell Jesse I'm trying, and I try again, and then I'm on. Yeah, so yeah, that was just the time that I was off Zoom. I thought I'll fill you in as you filled me in with the session. That you didn't think I just jumped off, and not said goodbye, because that's not my intention.
Yeah.
No, Joe would never, none of us would ever think that.
Oh, I love you guys. That's the best.
Yes.
Best. And that's
We-
what
we-
I also thought. I also thought the same.
Yeah, we just
Now
thought
I can't say what our patterns might think, but wade
yeah,
down
well,
deep, we do
that's-
know that.
Aren't we mysterious and weirdos? I love it. I'm actually quite enjoying the weirdness coming out, but yeah. Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So I heard what was happening. But did you hear what I said about what Joe mentioned about what was the update and what came from when you were discussing about everything? I said something about to the detachment. It's not the actual person that you have a problem with or you want to drop. It's the attachment, the story you have with the person. Yeah. So that's when you can let go really easy. That's what I discovered. Because just like a pen, a black pen, you would say, oh, I can't drop the pen. But you can say, yeah, you can drop the pen. But oh no, but my grandmother gave this to me. It's a sentimental piece. And and this, and you see the stories you tell yourself about the pen. Well, all you have to do is drop the pen. Yeah. So that's what I felt. What came up for me is not so much. It's more letting go of the detachment of what you have, the story you have, the story you're also telling yourself. But yeah, that's what I came up with. That one came up for me. Thank you. Are you there still?
you,
Yeah,
DK.
you are. Yeah.
Thank you, DK.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's very, yeah.
Some of the, just when you said there about letting go, something that I heard recently by Richard
Yeah.
Wood from Gene Keys was something like, because he says acknowledge, welcome, and we normally say let go, but he said embrace, which I thought, that give,
Embrace.
that give like another level to it.
Yeah, isn't it?
Because
Yeah.
letting it go, it's like we try to but by embracing it, it's like no matter what.
Yeah, I love that.
We become it, and we've risen our higher superconscious vibrations up to it.
That's right. That's it. Yeah. Beautiful.
And you reminded me, Joe, of like how to embrace it, which then appears like it's let go of, right? It appears because it's gone when we embrace it, we incorporate it, we integrate it, is to accept it by allowing it.
Yeah.
I like that
Allow
word,
it.
allow. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
allowed also spoke to me too. Yeah.
Yeah, allow
totally.
is when acceptance is a bit hard. Allowance is like
Yeah.
a step toward.
Oh yeah, it's like the
Allow.
obvious action.
Allow makes it expansive
Mhm.
without making it, because when somebody says, well, you have to accept that makes
Ooh.
it sound like you don't have a choice in the matter. When you
Yeah.
allow something, it makes
Yeah.
it feel like you have a choice.
Yes.
Oh, so good, Mona. Yes.
Brought the choice out the bag.
And so if we think of that, if we think of those two words, the difference of them, and we think of them in structure, yeah, it's like there's an automatic structure in both of them, right?
Mm,
Yeah.
And it's like, and so as soon as we say, you know, if someone is there to, if we are yielding as a domination guy, like as a dominant guy, meaning like my domination is part of my gene key, right? If you tell me that I have to accept something, no matter what, I'm going to fight it. No matter
absolutely.
what. That is the
I agree.
tension. That is
It's a
the
tension.
tension
Yeah.
already made up in that word. That is
Yes.
my automatic. That is my, so I will look
Yes.
for every way to chop it down. And what am I doing is I'm taking away from your greatness.
Whew. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
diminishing your genius. And that was
Amen.
my pattern.
That's it. That's
Ugh.
it. Yeah. Oh God, that's so much there. There's so much there to process. It's so powerful. Wow. Yeah, it just like reminds me of being a child. You know, children come into this world messy, loud, noise, and it's uncomfortable for the adult because they don't know how to handle it. And so they want to place the child in a box and say, you got to be like this, yeah? And a child is naturally, it's a natural to find themselves, is to also test their own ability. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's really interesting, to allowing the child to express that. If it says no, then don't say yes, or I don't want to go outside. You're going to go outside. There's limitations, of course, with certain things of how to speak into a person, so that you don't overtake the personality or what they're trying to discover within themselves, what they like and what they want to do, what they don't want to do, who they want to, you know, what game.
Meet them where they're at.
It's there. It's for them to go, you know, into their own experience. So yeah, when we come into this, when it comes up for me, it was very powerful, very, very powerful, because it's an instinct. It's a natural instinct. We came here, spirit, instinct to know what we want to know, but we weren't allowed, and that allowing was not allowed, period. And we got to take that back and say, no, we are allowed now. Yeah, because that's your authenticness. That's the truth of who you are. That's the real core of who you really are. But you didn't get to discover that because you had so many obstacles. You had a battle to fight, but the battle is over. The war is over. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, when we are aware that our choice in that was to fight and we didn't know there was any other option.
Yes. Yes. And it was
Yes.
demonstrated. You must also acknowledge that when it's demonstrated, it's a picture you play. The pictures you play in your head constantly, over and over, like a freaking broken record, like literally over and over. And it's very hard to let that go. It's very hard. But with the right environment, and the right people, and the right, insightfully wanting, willingly choosing to acknowledge, then that's what will change and things will come.
You can choose to change that story anytime you want.
We can choose. That's it. That's exactly what it is. Attachment to everything, the stories, what we were exposed to, what we had to experience, having to think that people are a group that they like that, or they, or label
Nikki,
somebody as them. Yeah.
Nikki, you said you just said a key word: attachment.
Oh, totally. Yeah.
Attachment,
Yeah,
and you have to decide: is that attachment still serving you,
Oh,
in a
there's a
way
there's a
that you want
it's
it
a
to serve you? And is it serving you in a positive manner? Is it serving you in a negative manner?
oh, it's so good,
You know,
so good because
so
you can
you coined
you
the
can
perfect word with that.
oh, so good, Mona. You're taking what yesterday's session when you opened that up and then you left because you had to go to work. But you really allowed me to ponder on a lot of things here, a lot of things. And it was wonderful to be able to say, thank God that now the detachment I can let go of, the story I've been telling myself, yeah. And that to me, it gives when you can give to you in a way that serves you, that really serves you, yeah. And feeling in this moment that you can now just be open, just open. So yeah, I want to thank you for that because it's been very, very helpful, very helpful. And today, the question that you ask is just confirmed it because I did put it into practice, and I did take the action, and then
You're welcome.
really special. So thanks a lot. I get to thank you. Thanks. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikki. That makes me feel very humble.
Oh, from my heart. It's just the experience that I love because it brings me to my heart, and that's all I'm choosing to be. That really like switches me on or turns me on or whatever the hell you want to call it. As a human, I like being around people that I can not just grow with, but emotionally, yeah. Because I love, and I also, yeah, that's basically what I love because it's a feeling that I am getting very familiar with now, and I'm starting to really like it, like it a lot with the people in my life, and it just brings so much joy in the moment, and then it can continue as I allow it to just flow through me through the day, yeah, and it makes me feel alive. I feel alive. So yeah, so this is what I love, yeah. So I think we're all hungry, yeah. Otherwise we wouldn't be here because I think, we feed from each other. Yeah, we feed from each other.
We give and we
And that to
receive.
me, yeah, and I just love it. Just love it. Yeah, so thank you. I'm so happy you received that, Mona, because I truthfully feel that in every cell in my body when I tell you that. So it makes me feel just as good. So thank you. And I'm also very humble, very humble.
Yeah, Mona, you bring a beautiful atmosphere, man. You bring a beautiful vibe.
She's come a long ways and I love it. Love to see her inner power. Just like each and every one of you.
Yeah.
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 I hear a lot of growth in this group as well.
Oh yeah.
I feel it.
Yeah, it's an honor. It's a real honor because it's such an honor. It's it's just an honor.
This is a great space to acknowledge, honor, welcome for a concentrated hour or two. And it just makes it it's so top of mind when a situation arises. Even if you've not come on a call for a day or two. Do you know what I mean? It's like it's unconscious competence. It's just neurological pathways built,
Yeah,
and it's like every time you get that crossroads of a new choice, it's like boom, we're consciously choosing with love. Yeah, obviously we're gonna have fear choices, but the point is the majority of the focus, you know. Yeah, and doing that in real time. And
There's it, real time. Yeah, real time. It's so true. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the experience. Very interesting. Yeah. Thank you. That's good.
So what word do you take with you through your day? All that we've worked with, all that we've brought into it today. Here, several times Allison gave us this morning that choice without charge amplifies alignment.
Mm. Mm.
Choice without charge amplifies alignment.
The word
that is
amplifies brings in expansion for me. So I think the word for today for me would be expansion.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Expansion.
That's
Oh
great.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Expanding unlimited potential. So unlimited potentials for me today.
My word for the day is embrace.
Mm.
I want to embrace. I want to embrace higher levels.
Amplifying, expanding, unlimited potential, and embracing.
Yes. Wow, that's so like, wow. Those words are so powerful. There's so much meaning to those words.
Mhm.
So much action, you know, so much beauty, so much to discover. It's exciting.
like Jesse said, we are meaning making machines.
I'm telling you, what are we? What are we? What are we? What are we? What are you?
Meaning making machines.
Making meaning machines. Oh, that's
Meaning
cute.
making.
Oh,
Meaning making machines.
making. Oh, meaning making machines. Okay. You know what I say to our clients? Well, it's just because of what we do. We're
That's
creating
paraphrased. I think there might have been a bit of Chinese whispers going on. I don't know. Machines, yeah. Ooh. We may not understand, but we'll find meaning.
Oh my God. Yes. Generator, baby, generator. Oh, so much
We're
fun.
going to make up some story, and the one we make up, we're going to attach to.
We're going to attach it. We're going to make it up. I think that's
And
the
with
part.
that, I think I'm going to get off of here for the day. I want the rest of you
Mona,
to have a
thank you,
wonderful
Mona.
day.
Yes,
Blessings,
Mona.
blessings, big love.
Blessings, kisses,
Bye,
big
Mona.
hugs.
Thank you.
Love you. Bye, Mona.
Hi, Mona.
You
Big
guys
love.
have a
Bye,
wonderful
Mona.
day. Big love.
Thank you. You too. Big love.
Bye,
Peace.
hun.
Peace.
Peace.
And that's why I do this. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Racing from above.
And mine too. Yeah.
Well, Craig, want to leave us with anything?
Well, my word for today is reorientation. I like that one.
Wow.
Yes. amplifying,
Can-
expanding, unlimited potential.
Yes.
Reorganizing orientation,
Yeah.
allowing, allowing
Oh,
a
no, that's a big one.
reorientation, allowing
Yeah.
Until you
reorientation.
reorient, you're trapped.
Hmm.
Because you're oriented. It's the orientation that's the trap.
The orientation, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you keep
Yeah.
referring back to it. It kind of becomes your
That's why I think it's where awareness
becomes
is
your
such key.
foundation.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Mm.
Daddy, quickly talking about foundations in Rich Dad Poor Dad, it talks about how a lot of people are building with like little minimal foundation, you know. This is the deeper you go down, the higher you go.
Yeah.
As
Where
they
was
Yeah.
that
say,
from again, Joe?
Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
I knew
don't
it was
work to
familiar.
earn, you work to learn.
foundation built on shifting stands
Yeah.
or solid rock.
Yeah. I like
little
that.
truth.
Solid.
The little
Yes.
truth, the little T truth, or the big T truth.
Oh, yeah, totally. Totally. And I think that's what also brings in more forward, like not in thinking about all this purpose and what you need to be and how it should show up and how this and that. But in that little purpose, the little moments, the little nows, the knowing that you're taking the steps because you're allowing it, you're embracing it, and you're being in it. Even if you make a cup of tea, you're in the cup of tea. Yeah, I know it sounds a little over the top, but it's the truth. And I'm just going to say it. Doesn't matter how it sounds. I'm just going to voice it out because that's the truth. That's the being in the present moment from step to
Yes.
step. And for me, I can really like say, wow, ooh, this is like, whoa. But it's that anchoring of being aware, knowing that I'm just observing it now and I'm consciously listening, and then allowing again, because it's all allowing again, because I'm reprogramming not just my generation, but many generations. I know it's way back. And so this has been a real, struggle. But I also love the fact that I can be here and then experience this and then say, wow, there we go. That's involved. That's when you know, yesterday's session was where you were and where you are now. And I love that because it's not where you need to be, but it's not where you used to be. You're on your way. You're just on your way. And I think that brings so much more fulfillment when you can be in that way of making a way for yourself, firstly, and secondly, allow other people to join you.
Yes.
And that's taking each other home. That's what makes me realize that taking you home, you taking me home. That's it. That's where we want to be, right?
Mm.
Well, I want to be.
Yes, me too.
Because that's my foundation. My foundation is home. Wherever I go, I want to be home. Whoever I'm with, I want to be home. Whatever I do, I want to be in home. I want to be home with me, in my heart. That's where I can now let go of that. Just be home. Like I'm home now with you. It's not like when I get off the call that I'm home with you. I'm home with you right now. You're in my life.
Out on your walk.
And and you're walking along with me too. It's like it doesn't get better than this, man.
Right.
It doesn't get better than this. Trust me, it doesn't. There's nobody that can do this for you. Honestly, no one. No one can do this for you. No spouse, no girlfriend, no boyfriend. No one. Only you, hey? It's a beautiful thing when you can let go of the body, but then let the soul understand that you're in spirit now. You flow. You are in flow. It's got nothing to do with willpower now. It's got nothing to do with discipline. It's constructive, creator, choosing. That's it. Being it. And it's, for me personally, I think, whoa. It's whoa. But that's what, yeah. And that was really cool to express that, because I think when you experience it for yourself and then you get to tell somebody else, it's like really grains it in you. Like it really like can say, oh wow, I feel that now. Like I can anchor that in as a familiar, not unfamiliar, familiar. Yeah. So thanks. Yeah, and it just echoes me. It just rang a bell. It's resonated with me now. Homie, homie. And isn't that profound? Because he says that all the time. Hey, homie. He'll be on a text. Hey, homie. Hi, homie on Facebook. Hi, homie. And isn't that interesting that for this circle of awareness of saying, wow, it was coming to me. It was actually speaking into my life. Think about that one. Yeah, just think about it. Just wow. So you are a magnet and you do draw people to you. And the magnificence of that, because the heart's open. So good. You never know who you're going to touch. You never know who's going to make some sort of, just make a beautiful life out of a real disaster. That's to me, that's what it's about. What's up?
Yes.
And that's interesting to say that, because I never really thought of homie, but now you've got me
Yeah,
thinking
you
about
always
it,
say
it's like,
homie. You say homie,
oh,
and we had the wonderful thing I think about everything is that nothing's a problem. It's always a resolution. I always believe in that, and you believe in that resolution, revolution more so. But what was beautiful
yeah.
about that is just right. So what was lovely, just that what I mentioned that I felt really like wow, serene when I said home, because that's really my choice, or true choice, to be honest. And it's been a true choice since a little girl. But to be able to be in a call and remind me to say that everything that you have literally brought into your awareness and spreading your word, that's homey for me. And it's like, I understand unconsciously, but consciously I started to pick up that word and it resonated, but it was still a little foreign. I was still unfamiliar. And I got a little comfortable when you used to say, oh, homie. Hey, homie. So I go, oh, no, oh, what's that? There's so much resistance to that, so much resistance. And I said, oh, no, that's what you want. Yes, that's what I want. So I just allow it. Take it. And I have to ask permission. I just now took it. I took the power back of realizing that all those times, seeing you on Facebook, seeing you and homie, and I'm just, like, this is it. Like, I'm home in a way of being here, and I'm going to live it. I'm going to allow, I'm going to embrace, and just to be able to say that is enough. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Well, I love you, Nikki, man.
Yeah,
I love you, man.
Homie is a big one for me here, and it was beautiful to experience that. And now that I can but again, just build another foundation. Build a foundation like a brick, another brick. So it's Yeah, so thank you, homie. Homie.
Very nice. Yes, my homie, chilling with my homies. I look right.
Yeah, thanks.
Hmm. Wow.
I blame media
Uh,
programming.
Yeah, it's magic, eh?
Great awareness. I
Yeah,
honor
really.
I honor the awareness. I honor the charge. I honor the
Yeah.
taking the power of it and saying, "Oh, let me allow this. Let me accept
Yeah.
this. Let me embrace
Yeah.
this."
Yeah, yeah. Like just build my own house, on rock, on solid
Yep.
rock, like you said earlier, on solid rock. And solid rock also came up when you said solid rock. There was like,
Solid
oh,
as a rock.
oh, I love that song. Oh my God, I love that song. I love that song. But when you said that, Jesse, I'd also like, whoa, but I didn't have resistance to it. It was just, I can accept that. Like instantly when you said that. Oh, and I even said it, I resonate with that one. Because that's what I love, I love the fact that we can see, even in our wording, how we can see the resistance. Where is the resistance in that? Like, what is the wound there? Why are we hurting when somebody just rejects us or doesn't like us? Whatever, you go, okay, what is that? Because it's not personal. It's really not. Really not.
There's
Yeah.
beauty in it all, man. There's beauty in it all.
Yeah.
And I love it all.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's like the thunder and the lightning, you know what I mean? It's just renewing the land.
Mm. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Mhm.
And real time, man, real time.
Yeah. Showtime.
The show must go on.
The show must go on. Oh my God, yes. Yes.
Well, true honor to be and expand with each of you this morning.
Yeah, likewise, totally. Much appreciation. Lots
I
of it.
honor the growth just in a couple of days. I honor the
Oh
growth.
yeah.
From the
Oh yeah.
chaos comes the beauty.
There's it. That's
From the
it.
chaos comes the beauty.
From the chaos
Just
comes the beauty.
with
Yeah.
patience,
Amen. Oh my God.
not
lots.
force.
And
Chaos is the
don't-
beauty.
It
kidding me?
is. It is. Yes.
Yeah,
Good
that
way
is
to put
true.
it.
It is. Oh, so true. So true. Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, Craig.
I love you guys.
Love you too.
Love each of you. Thank you. Have yourself
Thank
a
you.
blessed day. A blessed day. And
Yes.
until we meet again.
Yes. That's wonderful. Meet you on the other side.
On the other side, the
Meet
next
you on the
day.
other side.
Yeah.
Yes.
You enjoy the
Bye.
rest of your
All right.
holiday, mate. Big love
Yes.
to you and the family.
Thanks.
Nice one,
Thanks,
Craig.
bud.
Nice one, Nick.
Cheers. Peace.
Bye all.
Peace. Great see you, Nikki.
Bye. Well, Craig, that was pretty good finish.
Yeah. Darn.
Darn.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when they get this good, I don't want them to end.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
We're on a real roll today.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay.
And it is, and yeah, there's a force in that, they're not the force like that, but it's like there's a momentum to it for sure.
Yeah. It's like you don't really want to call it a force or even a power. It's more like I like the word dynamic. There's dynamic in it.
Yeah. And how I like to leave it is people wanting more.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a compelling. I like that force. I like the compelling force.
Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah. I like the pull.
Mhm.
Really, really like the pull.
That was such an
it's
honor
so-
to see that today with those two.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's kind of interesting how certain people missed certain things that were said. So yeah, I always find that curious.
Mhm, mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. And maybe not either. I mean, like, who knows?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah. And the pull thing, the pull thing is really like I've just been getting this inkling over the last few days that I'm going to be moving soon, and that's all I know, and that's all I need to know. And it's like along with that, along with that inkling, that nudge is is a question that goes something like this: can you trust? Are you able to trust at this point? And the answer to that question that comes to me is yes. And so it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because remember my previous answer to that question was that I can't.
That's right.
So it's it's all very interesting.
Just little pieces start to come off on the edges, right? To reveal the gift that's inside.
Yep. Yeah. So it's coming, and the people are showing up, and the energies are showing up, and the dynamics are showing up. The words are showing up.
The practices are revealing. Yep.
Yeah. The new foundations are showing up.
Yep. And that's great. It's like that inclination. It's like, I'll be moving soon. And then it's like to begin to that vision. It's like, oh, so if I'm going to be moving, what would my moving look like? Where would I want to be moving to?
Right.
And all that goes into it. That's just becomes the visionary creation, the
What could that
manifestation
be?
of it. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What could that possibly be?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, my roommate is retiring at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he's really ensconced in the whole fear, life and fear scenario, right? So it's like, all of a sudden his income's gone. So his his paycheck is gone. And so that opens up a whole Pandora's box of things. It's like so now he wants to revise our agreement, right? It's like, isn't that interesting?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I'm not in a position to promise you what I promised you anymore. So so it's interesting.
Always changing conditions, huh?
Yep. Yeah. It's interesting too, and this isn't particularly a reflection of him in particular, but it's interesting how changing conditions change things instead of the integrity goes out the window if conditions change. You know, that's a pattern too.
Or maybe the true intentions, you know? You know,
The
and they
true
change. They
intentions
can,
come to the service.
yeah,
Service,
yeah.
maybe.
yeah.
Yeah.
And there's you know, there's, you know, it goes all the way through. Different, you know,
When a
it's
marriage gets that way, it's like,
Yes.
holy crap, right?
Yep.
You get to a point in a return.
Mhm.
Right? Because turns out it was all conditional in the first place.
there you go. Yep, there you go.
As long as you're this
Nothing
and
in
this
it.
and this, then I will this.
Yeah.
Once
And
that
everything
changes,
evolves.
then
You know, everything evolves. Well, I'll keep it in my awareness. Like I'll keep looking for you, right? Like that you find you. Yeah, you find your move, and as I know it
Yeah.
will. So
yeah, exactly. And and I appreciate that I could bring that into your awareness, and you know, and that it's parked in the superconscious somewhere.
mhm. Best place for it to be, right?
It's a place for everything to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Craig.
That's the ocean.
That is the ocean. That's right. Well, Craig, thank you for every morning. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you for
Being
every
here.
morning.
Yes.
And thank you
yes,
for starting
together.
this, and damn, thank you for recording them. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Right.
What a treasure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
like
just talking
Mona
to some
says,
people yesterday about what we're doing here, and I said, yeah, and we got them all recorded, and I'm going like, oh my goodness gracious.
No, you know, there was always something that says record these, and it's like, why record them? You don't
Yeah.
know yet. Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
And I didn't and still don't have the facility to do that. So I'm just really, really grateful that I've been able to participate, and it's all been recorded. So
Yes, yeah, it amplifies everything.
yes, it does.
Hmm. And it's real easy. It's a low cost way to keep it forever. Ah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And just like Mona says, oh, you guys have changed, you've grown, and it's like, yeah, you know, it's like not. That's what's recorded. That is
Yeah.
the true demonstration of it, right?
Yes. Yes. Because it's incremental. It's always incremental. And the thing is, if it's not documented in some way or another, you don't really realize what's happening.
That's right. You can, coming in, being introduced to it, you only see what you see in the moment.
Right. Yeah.
Well, my friend,
Oh boy. Oh. Hey, can you remind me what your Gene Keys numbers are again?
sure. Yeah.
I just want to play with that a little bit.
Yeah.
Can.
It was fun. I did it. I've done it with one of my kids as well.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
what a great way of information. So, so 48 for my life's work. Gene Key 48. What I'm here to learn is Gene Key 21.
Okay.
For you, being in control is the issue.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
My radiance, what keeps me healthy, Gene Key 39. Your health depends on having the courage to always follow your convictions. You have never been a follower of others.
Walking into my yard here. Okay, so we got 48, 21.
48, 21, 39.
Yeah.
And 38.
38. Okay, that's from the top. The top one's 48. Or did you print it out?
I've just got it on the. I never did print it. It's just the.
Okay. Are you
My
looking
genius.
at the diagram, or are you just looking at the?
My hologenetic profile, Gene Keys. I'm just
Right.
reading the report. So
The report.
It gives
Okay,
me
so
the
that's
genius, the love, the prosperity, and then it says a journey of self-illumination. Jesse, my genius, my life's work is gene key 48. My evolution is gene key 21. My radiance is gene key 39. And my purpose is gene key 38. Well, if I sent you the chart, would you like to just, I can send you, I'll put the chart in the profile for you.
sure. Okay.
I'll send it
Putting
to, I'll put it,
Putting that in the
I'll put it
chat.
in, I'll put it in I'll put it in Messenger. Is that better?
Okay. Yeah.
That way you,
Yeah,
the
perfect.
diagram or whatever, you
diagram.
know how to read it, I don't, so.
Yep. Awesome.
Great, Craig.
Oh my goodness.
All right, well, thank you and have a great rest of the day.
I will. You too.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Big love, Jesse.
Big love,
Bye now.
Craig.